Uh, Meow? Okay, so Cats is directed by Tom Hooper, who previously directed films such as The King's Speech and Les Miserables, and it stars a lot of people, including James Corden, Judi Dench, Jason Derulo, Idris Elba, Jennifer Hudson, Ian McKellen, Taylor Swift, Rebel Wilson, and it's based off the Broadway musical of the same name. So overall, we have a, a very popular Broadway musical being turned into a movie with an incredible cast, with a very capable director coming out in late December, suggesting that this could be an awards contender maybe. There's no reason this movie could be awful, right? Right? And the film follows a group of cats known as the Jellicles who are getting ready for this big ball event, and it's that's really all I can say. Like they go through from cat to cat in this movie to know, and like each cat is vying to be chosen for a new life thanks to a very wise old cat. And like my anticipation for this movie, I didn't really have any. I've never seen the Broadway musical, and the trailers, we gotta talk about the trailers, obviously. The trailers were not that good. I wasn't like a hater of the trailer because like the visuals were without a doubt just disturbing and made me just cringe. Ugh. And but I did like the production design of the movie, and I did like Jennifer Hudson's version of Memory in that trailer. So I was like, we'll wait and see. This may be weird to look at, but maybe the production design will be good, and maybe the singing will be good as well. And this movie's not good. This movie is really not that good. Oh boy. Well, is there anything good in the movie? Well, like I mentioned, uh, the production design at the beginning is really good. Like, there's a lot of detail that goes into it, and that's. But then after a while, they just kind of give up on it. Like, it's not as impressive as the movie goes on, unfortunately. And and also the singing for the most part. The singing is not that bad. It's just while you're listening to it, you can like kind of hum along to it or something. Like once you get into the beat or something. But I couldn't even remember most of them afterwards. Like unless you're like a diehard Cats fan, then anyone who's like outside of that group probably won't care about the musical numbers, honestly. And some of the performances in this movie are pretty good. Jennifer Hudson, despite her very little screen time in this movie, and I'll get to that. Taylor Swift has even less screen time than Jennifer Hudson. She's good in her small role. And like her song's really good. Like both their songs are really good. And yeah, everything else in this movie is bad. Like everything else in this movie is really, really bad. Obviously, the visuals. We gotta talk about them. They are the stuff of nightmares. They are disturbing CGI hybrids of cats and humans. Like, there's not just cat-human hybrids in this movie. There are human-mouse hybrids in this movie. I'm like, can we just stop with this? Like, stop with this right now. Like, I need to pause on this movie, like, just right now. Like, oh my god. And as I mentioned, some of the performances in this movie, they're fine. Like Jennifer Hudson and Taylor Swift are probably the best things in this movie. But there are some performances that are really not that good in this movie. James Corden and Rebel Wilson, they try to make it comedic, and it doesn't work. It really does not work. And I know they can be funny. And I know there are people out there who don't think either of them are funny, but I think they can be funny every once in a while. And they're just really bad here. Also, Rebel Wilson, strangely, like, she has her fur, obviously, and then, like, she can unzip her fur, and there's a dress underneath it. I'm like, wait, what? Like, how? And, but, they're trying to put comedy in it. It doesn't work. But, the other two really bad performances, in my opinion, first is, Ian McKellen. Wow. Like, he looks like he's not being given any stage direction whatsoever. Like, he's just looking around the set like, oh my god, this This looks, oh my god. And then the director's probably like, Mr. McKellen, we're shooting a movie here. Oh, yeah, I know. Seriously, Ian, we could fire you right now. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, whatever. Yeah, he just looks kind of amazed at what he's doing. And he's been in Lord of the Rings, for crying out loud. And Idris Elba is so bad in this movie that it's kind of hilarious. He's chewing the scenery like it's catnip. It's funny. It's probably one of the funniest performances of the year, even though it probably wasn't meant to be funny. Oh my gosh. And that leads into my other big issue with this movie. There's very little character development in this movie. Like, the majority of the movie is just, it's sung through, like Tom Hooper's previous film, Les Miserables, which that movie was mostly sung through, and this movie's the same way. It's sung through all the way. And with this movie, they basically just go from cat to cat to cat, and none of them are really given much personality or character even, and it's just, and like, I couldn't really get attached to anyone, because like, you're going from cat to cat to cat, and it's like, oh right, there's this big event going on, and I completely forgot that there was even an event going on. Like, there's supposed to be, like, this big moment where Jennifer Hudson, sings Memory, and it's supposed to feel emotional and sad. But you spent, like, only 5 minutes on her character throughout this entire movie, and you're supposed to feel bad because, like, oh, she's been an outcast. But it's like, what about her, though? You just mentioned in passing, like, why she's an outcast, and, like, and I couldn't feel anything. I kind of didn't care. I was kind of laughing because, again, the way that they're designed as cats/humans is just so odd, and it's weird. Like, Taylor Swift gets even less screen time. Like, she appears like an hour into the movie, sings a song, and then she basically disappears for the rest of the movie. Like, and like, she's good in the movie. Like, she's good for that one song, but really no other reason. And also, like, in terms of characters, the character Victoria, played by newcomer Francesca Hayward, she's probably the other good thing in this movie. Her character is treated so poorly by the other Jellicle cats. Like, she's spat on by one of the characters, she gets food taken away from her, she's ignored by a lot of them, and yet, she sings this song after Jennifer Hudson sings a bit of Memory. And she sings a song in the middle of the movie, the new song in the middle of the movie that was written to win Oscars and such. This movie won't, obviously. And she sings a song about how this new life could be amazing and perfect and just amazing with the new friends she's made. And I'm like, these Jellicle cats treated you like garbage. Why are you friends with them? Like, they're all just awful. They're pervy and disturbing, and they're the worst, some of the worst things to happen to cats since Mike Myers. I'll say it. And the score of this movie, it just reminds me a lot of the movie A Clockwork Orange because of the way it's, like, mixed with, but it just comes in randomly. It's like, okay, we'll mix this to make it seem, like, weird and disturbing. And this movie's already weird and disturbing. It really is. And it's just hard to look at. It's like, you just kind of have to watch it just for the pure insanity that is this movie. And you need to watch this movie with the right set of drugs, essentially. Like, if your movie theater does not offer you some sort of drug before you go into this theater, they're doing something wrong. Also, you're doing something wrong by seeing this movie in the first place. But it's like, at the theater, it's like, okay, we have this nice spread of you. We do have some weed. We do have some LSD. We do have some heroin. Why not? And we also do have alcohol here. We should sell it to you because you're about to see cats and you're going to want to drink through it. Like, everyone's doing something wrong with this movie. Not only theaters are doing something wrong, you're doing something wrong by seeing it. Like, even everyone involved in this movie is doing something wrong. And I feel bad because, like, there was this featurette that came out before the trailer dropped. And basically everyone involved in this movie, like the cast, the choreographers, the director, pretty much everyone in the crew, they were talking about how important Cats was and how important it was to bring it to the big screen in this new way. And I feel bad because they put so much heart and they felt so much emotion in the original story, and they were hoping for the same effect on all of us by seeing this movie, and they mentioned that the visuals were going to be groundbreaking, and I gotta say, it is ambitious for what they do, but it's so wrong. It's like, it's so wrong in so many ways. I'm horrified. This might be the most horrifying movie this Christmas. Yikes. Like, and the songs, like, I mentioned this, if you just listen to songs on their own, they're fine. And if you look at the production design alone, like pictures and such, they're fine. But you can watch them on your own, but when they're together, they just don't work because you're just watching all these human-cat hybrids just being disturbing in so many ways. Like, this is not natural, this is just wrong. Ah. And part of me kind of, like, in terms of the visuals, part of me does feel bad because it's like, you know, they are trying to do something ambitious here. They're trying to do something, you know, groundbreaking, and it's not working. But can you imagine, like, the alternative? Like, can you imagine if they did it like the Broadway play and just stuck them with, you know, just taped or glued black hair to them or gray hair or whatever, and just made them look like the cats on the Broadway play, and everyone would call it cheap or something. And I do feel bad. Like, I really do feel bad for everyone involved with this movie, because it's like, you know, this is a really well-known Broadway play. This is an incredible cast. This is a very capable director. I'm sure that the dance choreographers are doing a great job. I'm sure these visual effects artists have done great work before. And this movie's being released at awards season, basically. What happened? Like, what happened? Like, what drugs did you guys take in order to make this movie? Because I want some if I have to watch this again, and I don't want to watch this movie again. Oh my god, like, I'm just gonna throw this out in the litter box or something. Like, this should be thrown out with the litter box or something. I just don't want this movie in my life. I don't need to see this movie ever again. It's just wrong in so many ways. I am giving Cats 1 out of 4 stars. Skip it. Unless you have drugs. So, have you seen Cats? If you have, I'm sorry. And what is your favorite movie musical, or what is a musical you would like to see on the big screen? Because it was probably much better. It's definitely much better than this. And so, yeah. So comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. This is Pat. And man, I really need to start drinking.